Do you want to know how to make Meliodas, the Dragon Sin, the best healer in the game? Or perhaps you want to make him the best DPS character in the game? Well, if you stay tuned, I will show you how. So, they have unironically made Meliodas the best healing unit in the game. But not only that, he's also one of the best DPS characters. This makes him arguably the best hybrid unit in the game. And even though it took a bit longer than I wanted it to, I was able to obtain Meliodas through the summons. And I can confidently say that I have not been let down by this unit. I've had so much fun with any of the forms you can use with Meliodas. There's his longsword, his twin swords, and the axe. They're all amazing options. Starting off with the longsword, this is probably the worst out of the three options. That's not to say it's a bad choice. It is better than a few of the units in the game. However, the other two are just better. His base abilities, especially his passive, which increases your attack by 100%, is definitely a viable option in the game. However, once you use the other two weapons, you will realise that this is just a subpar version of both of them. I would say the main deciding factor for me was the ultimate. It is good, however it has the tendency to miss maybe one of these strikes when you are at point blank range to the enemy. It also doesn't do a hell of a lot of damage like you would get from a few of the different units in the game. Now, moving over to the second choice for Meliodas weapons, we've got the axe. Now, this weapon is arguably the best damage weapon in the game. His second ability is reset every time you use it on an enemy with demon energy applied to them. This is applied through skill 1 and the ultimate. This means if you got a perfect combo off, you'd be able to use skill 2 3 times, maximising the output of your damage. Now, if we look at the axe compared to the longsword, you can see that the axe, even without the ultimate being used, goes through the purple dragon faster than the longsword. This would also mean you still have your ultimate in reserve compared to the longsword. Using your ultimate and all of the abilities, you would just about kill the dragon, but have nothing in reserve. Moving on to the ultimate for the axe. This is an amazing skill that pairs really well with its skills and the damage output that this form or weapon choice of Meliodas can use. Now, this ultimate is definitely better using it on just one enemy, as the damage scales off the amount of enemies that you are attacking. I would say the main thing that makes this better than the ultimate of the longsword is that it resets skill 2 cooldown, which makes you able to use another DPS ability. I would confidently argue that this weapon choice with Meliodas is probably the strongest DPS in the game at the moment. He just slices through enemies like there's no tomorrow. He makes most of the enemies in the game look weak and pitiful, and I would definitely say he is an S tier character. Now, before we get into the final and, in my opinion, the best choice in the game for Meliodas, if you do like this video or find it at all helpful, consider hitting the like and subscribe button. It does really help me and it makes my content easier to find. Now, onto the final set of weapons, the dual swords. In my opinion, these are the best choice for Meliodas. It doesn't come near to the damage that the axe can do. However, it has one amazing factor. If you activate a darkness burst with these weapons equipped, you can start getting your health back, which means if you was to pop the ultimate when you was quite weak, you would basically get your whole health bar back. And if you're using a combination of two of the same element characters like I was with Drake and Gilthunder, activating the burst is really easy. So all you have to do when you activate the burst is then switch to the darkness character, get a few hits off, pop the ultimate, and you're back up to 100% health and you're ready to go again. I prefer this alternative to Elaine because with Elaine you don't get any damage, it's just a shield, and it's good. It's a really good shield, but with Meliodas you can heal and do damage at the same time, which you can't do with Elaine or any other shield giving characters. The only one small flaw I've found with this weapon choice is the set of circumstances you need to activate the healing. With Elaine and all the other shield characters, it's just pressing an ability. With this character, you need the burst to be activated and then to switch to the darkness character for them to attack the boss or the enemies, which is quite easy, but if you're on low health and you don't want to risk dying, then you have to be really careful. Whereas with Elaine, if you're on low health, you just keep popping the shield and then running away when it runs out or when it gets broken. If you got this far into the video, comment down below what your favourite 7 Deadly Sins character is, what your favourite scene is from the series, or just let me know how I did on my video. And yeah, thank you. See you in the next one.